In this video, I'm going to show you how to update your Linux machine and how to install some applications in it. So I already deployed a machine in on EC2. So you can run ssh-i, give the key name and then username, hit the right and public IP. So now we are in. So in order to clear that, you can use a Ctrl L shortcut. Okay. So what you need to do, you need to run command apt update to update the machine. So why specifically apt? Because this is Debian based, so we need to use apt. If it is CentOS or Amazon Linux, you need to use this command yum update. So we call this as a package manager. So this manages which package to download, and so that's why. So what you can do, I'm going to run apt update. So if I run this, I'm going to get an error because I'm running as a regular user. So because you're changing something at system level, so you need to have sudo permissions. So further, what you can do, you can just put sudo in front of it. So now you're gonna get the update. So why I was able to get the sudo privileges? So if I do whoami or id, if I do whoami, so I'm Ubuntu user. So if I type groups, so I am part of these many groups. So sudo is one of them. So I'm part of the sudo's group, then I can get the sudo privileges. So that's why I was able to run sudo commands. So I'm going to run again sudo apt install NGINX. So this this NGINX and Apache are web servers. So they convert your virtual machine such as EC2 into a web server. So that web server means it can serve to the web. So you can access the files from if you put some of the files in certain directories in this machine, then you can access it from outside world. So let's see that. So it usually asks for yes or no. So if you append -y at the end, so then it doesn't ask. So I'm going to press no. Let me rerun. If I put -y, so that means it doesn't ask for, we accepted it as yes. So why they need to understand this? Sometimes, when you're deploying machines on EC2, you need to use, sometimes you give user data, so then there is no way to interact with it. So you can't get into the machine and you can press Y. So that's in that situations, or if you have any automation scripts where you need to press Y to accept it, then you can instead of that you can append -y to accept it. So it's been installed now. So if you want to be a sudo user, just do sudo su. So if I do that, so I can get I don't need to put sudo in front of every command because I got the sudo privileges now. So what you can do, you install that. So you want to check the status of that application, such as NGINX in this case. You can run the command systemctl status and the service name or that application name. So you can see that it is active and running. So if I copy this public IP, if I visit it, now I can see NGINX welcome page here. And then if you want to enable it, that means if you restart the system, so that has to start automatically when the system boots. For that you can run systemctl enable and the service name. So it's going to enable it. Whenever the system reboots, it automatically starts NGINX. So if you want to stop it, you can run the command systemctl stop NGINX. So we stopped it. If I refresh it, so it's not going to serve anything. If you want to start it, just the command start. If you want to restart it, you can do restart it. Okay. So I start it again. If I go back, now I can see the welcome page. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to go to this repository, Git repository. I'm going to look for portfolio, this one, and copy this HTTPS one come back. If you want to check which directory you are in, just run the command pwd, then run command git clone and paste it. Now if I do ls -l, I can see the directory. So if I want to serve these pages from if I go to the directory, I have all of these files. So if I want to show all of these pages over here, so I need to move all of these files to specific directory, that is /var www/html. Inside this folder we need to put everything in it. So further what you need to do, if I do ls, so if I want to move everything, you can run the command move and asterisk, that means everything, to the destination path. So I want to move everything to this folder. Otherwise you can run the command go back to one directory up. If I do ls now, you can see that directory. So if you want to I don't want to move this directory, but I want to move everything inside the directory. Further what I can do, move portfolio, the file folder name or directory name, then you can put asterisk and then give the destination path. So that means you are not moving this folder, but inside the folder whatever you have, whether it could be any directories or files and everything, you are going to move to this directory. So now you have moved it, you have nothing inside this folder. If you do ls-l /var www.html, and then now you can see all of these content. If I go back here, if I refresh it, now you can see this page. So this is how you can move command with asterisk. So while that's called wildcard. So that's how we can use. And if I want to install Docker, so that is for we call it containerization tool. So how are you going to install it? Apt install docker.io and press Y. So I installed Docker now. What I'm going to do, instead of running any commands with a root user, I'm gonna exit. If you exit, you're gonna be a normal user now. That's Ubuntu user. Now if I run any Docker command, so if I do Docker images, so I'm getting this error because whenever any user wants to access to this Docker, they need to have permissions on this this file actually. So some people, what they do, they change the permissions of this file, but there's a better way. Instead of that, you can run the command sudo user mod. That's you modify the user. Last time we have seen. So what you need to do, you can add this Ubuntu user to the Docker group, then you can get Docker permissions instead of changing permissions on this file. You know, if it is a dev environment testing, that's fine. Even many of the times I did that, but in production we can do this way. Then give the group name and give the username. Now if I run the Docker command again, I'm gonna get an error. I know that, because you need to reload the bash. So if I do bash again, let's rerun the command. Let me type it. Docker images. My bad, typo. Still I could get the same error. Then let the sudo user and then exit again. Rerun the command. If that, just exit from the bash. Okay, just reconnect to the machine again. Now run it. Docker images. Now you don't see that error. So this is how you can keep permissions to that by using user. You can append groups to users to the groups with the user mod command. So what I'm going to do now, so whenever I want to practice any command, while I don't want to connect to this machine all the time with the key, so I don't want to give this specific key always. So what I can do, let me connect to the machine first. So now I'm inside the machine. Now I'm going to open new terminal. In this new terminal, I'm going to run the command ssh keygen -trsa, then enter again. So in my case, I already do have keys, that's why it's asking you to override it. So if you don't have it, then you don't get this error. Just need to press enter. So in my case I do have, then I'm going to press no. Then once you run, even if it is Windows or Linux, doesn't matter, you need to go to this directory. So if you're in Windows, go to C, then users, then choose your username, and then look for .sh folder. Okay, so in my case I'm gonna go. Otherwise you can use git bash as well in your, if you install in your Windows, you can run this command .ssh. This shows that users root directory, users home directory, whichever they are in, doesn't matter. So if you put this one, that means it's gonna look into the user root directory, and then it's gonna look for .ssh folder, and then I'm gonna look for idrsa .pub. Pub stands for public key. So if you have confusion about that, so you can watch my earlier video. So this is the public key. This one you need to dump into the remote server. Okay, on this one. Now let's cat it. Where's my, oh, sorry, my bad, I used cd. You can run cat. So now you can see the output. Actually you can use multiple SSH keys to connect to your machine. So what I'm going to do, I'm gonna edit this file. You need to be in the user's home directory, so you're in here over there only. If you do ls-a, you can see .ssh folder, then cd into it. If you cat authorizer keys, you can see the other key. So you either you can use vi editor to edit it, or you can use cat command. So cat double greater than, that's append, so it's gonna add in the next line, but if you single arrow, it's gonna replace it. So just be careful. Okay, authorizer keys and paste it, then enter and Control C. Now you can run that cat command. So now you can see this one is earlier key and we got the new key. So if I exit it now, if I connect to this machine again without the key, what happens? Boom, you're in. Then how did this work? Because you generated keys on your local machine. When you generated, it generated a couple of keys, right? If I do ls-l idrsa and idrsa pub, so we kept this public key in our remote machine. So we do have this idrsa inside this directory, so it automatically gonna choose this file as a input file. So that's why it automatically connected. We didn't even give any key name and any which straight away enter this only SSH space Ubuntu and at the right public IP. So this is called passwordless authentication. Of course we use keys, but we are not even supplying keys while running this command. So that's why it's been called passwordless authentication. So this is how you can do. Actually what happens in production systems, so every hacker knows that this SSH works on port 22. So we usually change this port to something else. So how you going to do that? So this is one of the ways to secure a Linux machine. So whenever you install something, or all configuration files related to some application, so usually stays inside this /etc folder. So / is called a root folder, so the folder starts from /. So let me explain one more thing. We have absolute path and relative path. So absolute path means even I can go to /etc, I can look for .sh. So let me go back, let me get into SSH. So not .sh, it's SSH. So let me go there. So if I do pwd, so if I do ls now, so this is a relative path, because if I try to edit this file, I can do it now, because I am not specifying any path, because I'm already inside this folder, that's why. So if you want to edit this file from here, /etc ssh sshd, so the path started from with slash, that's why it's called absolute path. Okay, it's not relative to any folder, so it's starting from slash, that's why it's called absolute path. And if you don't specify this path, it's a relative path, because you're already inside the directory. You can see it here as well. So just try to understand that. Okay, so open that file, then you need to uncomment this line, this pound symbol. Okay, and then it doesn't matter if you're running this Linux on your virtual box or VMware, you can just edit it as I like to do. So I'm gonna change it to something else. Maybe I'm gonna put 2240 for instance, and then colon first. Okay, if you don't know how to use VI editor, you can watch one of the videos in this series only. You can get that. Okay, I'm gonna save and exit. Now I need to restart the service, because in order to take those changes effective, you need to restart it. Actually, you need to reload it. So systemctl reload SSH, and then let me restart. That's fine. Then exit again and try to run it. So okay, it didn't take effect. So I think we need to, let me do systemctl daemon -reload. So just to check any system level changes to take effect, then let me restart again, then exit, and try to connect now. So it says connection refused, because we changed that. I forgot the port. That's a 2240, I think. Okay, so you need to supply that port. Okay, what you can do, you can do -p and give that port name. So before that, I need to open that port on here as well in security group. I think if I allowed every traffic, that's gonna work. Yeah, it seems I allowed everything. That's fine. But if you are using any VM, so you don't need to change all of these things except to that port thing. So now come back and let me enter, because -p stands for port, so I'm gonna do it as a port. Yeah, we are in now. So this is how you can change the default ports to secure your Linux machine, and you can enable passwordless authentication, and you can install something in with the apt.yum as per your package manager, so systems package manager. So that's all this for this video. Thank you so much for watching. If you have any doubts, please ping it in a comment, and thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe and share. Thank you.